Peace. Just again, I consider things and they go through my mind and I figure out share them, right? So in this case, and pretty much in many cases, and I know that many people don't know this, but most commonly when I post or speak, it's not necessarily designed for my sisters. It's not for women. It's really not. When I speak and when you see me post, it's generally towards men. I can only speak to men, right? I've only ever been a man. So I know what my journey looks like, right? So I can speak to men. So very infrequently, when you see me speak or produce a video or anything like that, am I speaking to anyone outside of my brothers? That's it's my only audience, right? It's my only audience is my brothers. And so what I wanted to quickly kind of touch upon was the validity and intelligence of our long and short range planning, right? And I say that because if your short or long term plan counts on the good graces of a people that you've seen for 400 years do not have good graces, then that short and long term plan is no plan at all, right? I'm I'm going to restate that. If your plan assumes that those things that keep you alive day to day are well trusted in the hands of someone who does not have your best interest at heart, then you have no plan. If if we are tied to the success or failure of another man, can we call ourselves men? Right? Can we call ourselves men? If I require, what makes a man? How do you become a man? Right? So your daddy is the one that, he's going to provide you food, clothing, shelter, water, security, healthcare. All of your primary needs will be supplied by your father. And you become a man after a certain process. Right? In America, you become a man after a certain process. And that process is kicked off the moment you start smelling yourself and you tell that man, hey man, this is what I'm doing here. that's, that's the day you begin to take your journey towards manhood because you become keenly aware of the fact that his response to you is you can do whatever you want in your own. In your own, yeah, you write policy, but up in here, right, I write policy. And so what makes you a man, what transitions from boyhood to manhood, at least here, is having your own, right? Where no longer is your daddy carrying your food, clothing, shelter, water, healthcare, security, sanitation, education, and your utilities. You're providing them. You the one buying that toilet paper. You the one that's allowing yourself to live, right? That equals the transition to manhood, not an erection, not not the fact that you can make a baby. That's biological. That has nothing to do with manhood, right? That has nothing to do with manhood. Manhood is defined through responsibility and the undertaking of that responsibility. It's to say, and at the base level, at a base level, it's to say, I carry my own weight, right? That's not to even speak to the weight of somebody else. That's not what's going to make you a man. That's not what's going to make you a man. At a very base level, what makes you a man is the ability to say, I carry my own weight. I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody. And I'm still going to be able to do this. That is what delineates boy from man. Undertaking the responsibility for your own existence. Well, now I have to ask you, my brothers, I have to ask you, as we spend time correcting this one, that one, pointing all around, right? We spend time engaged in conversations irrelevant. We spend time policing the world and everyone else and pointing fingers outside. But I got to ask you, my brothers, I have to ask you, if it is in fact true that another man maintains ultimate responsibility for the ability for everything you love, for you and everything you love, to persist into 72 hours. If another man assumes that responsibility, are you a man? Are you a man if another man is carrying your responsibility? Are you? This is the question that I'm not even, hey, wait, you ain't got to answer me. Who am I? I'm no one, right? I'm no one. You ain't got to answer me. This is the true definition of jihad, is a battle between man and himself. I'm simply setting the stage, right? I'm simply speaking to the fact that this is the kind of question that we need to be asking ourselves. So that before I go and share a witty anecdote, before I go and give my opinion on what women should be doing or what they shouldn't be doing, before I'll share my opinion on the media events of the day, what I got to do is I got to check myself, right? I got to check myself, and I got to check my disposition. Am I dependent upon someone else? If someone else's system should fall, if their system should fail, what happens to me? What happens to everything that I love, right? This is the litmus that we need to use relative to trying to gauge the value associated with a given effort, right? The value associated with a given effort, if it is extricated from the very basic and primal needs. I see conversations, I'm dragged into conversations on a regular basis, and it's bothersome that most commonly people are more interested in sharing their opinion, being validated, pat on the back, right? They'll say these regurgitated facts and ghosts of conversations past, and they'll do these different things, but they never listen and they never apply critical thought to what is being said. And this is problematic for me. So I'm constantly challenged, but I'm constantly trying to highlight the fact that any given species that is dependent upon another for its essential needs is necessarily a slave to that species. You've got to do what the organ grinder plays. You got to dance. When he danced, you got to dance because you don't control your own essential needs. So I hear a lot of, the talk, we need empowerment, we need power, we need unity, we need all of these different intangible, immeasurable things. When somebody says we need empowerment, what's step one? When somebody says, well, we need power, what's step one? All of the unity, all of the ideas that are presented, and all of the talking points that have been regurgitated over the last 150 years do not begin with the very basic and primal need, which is life. They do not. They skip past life as if it's given, right? As if it is assured. But that represents the very key to our solution. You don't have to unite with me. You don't even know me. You don't have to unite with me. What you have to recognize is that your baby needs water. Look, it's squeezing. Look at the gas prices. Look at the food prices. Look at the price of water. It's squeezing. It's not a matter of whether or not you unite with me. It's not a matter of whether or not you agree with me. This isn't ideological. We speak to a biological imperative. And whoever controls the essential needs controls your life. So as a man, is it possible for you to spend your time day after day criticizing, philosophizing, chastising, and pointing fingers at everybody else while in a condition that another man is controlling everything that keeps you alive. Don't get mad at him. Say thank you. See, it's very hard for you to have complaints as it relates to what is on the table if you have taken no hand to produce that meal, right? It's very hard for you to have complaints about the way that security is meted out if you are taking no hand to secure yourself and to maintain your own community and area. It's very hard to complain about the conditions that are within your power to control for yourself, but you do not. At that point, again, what you ought to do is say thank you to whoever is carrying your responsibility. It doesn't matter how you got here. It doesn't matter how we got here. We can debate and talk and joust and show our feathers bright, and we can point at this one and that one, and we can make excuses. But at the end of the day, Black man, at the end of the day, it is not her responsibility. It was not her responsibility over the last 400 years to stand up and throw off the oppressor. It was yours. You may not like it. It may seem unfair, but the remains, the battle is yours. It's not hers. It's not his. It ain't Joe Biden's. You can't blame nobody else. It's yours. You will either do it or it will not be done. Please feel me, Black man. You will either do it or it will not be done. So what is it? What is the it that I speak to? Is it gaining more control over your woman? Is it her submitting to your high value? Is it cleaning up the or straightening out the family according to your patrilineal ideas? Is that what it is? Again, each and every plan, each and every suggestion goes past the very basic essential needs that keeps an individual or a species alive. You cannot go past life as the most valuable resource that you will ever know. So no, it's not about your woman submitting to you. No, the problem isn't your woman and what she's doing. No, the problem isn't your children and what they're doing and how they're reacting to this stimulus. No, the problem isn't Joe Biden and these white folk and how they get down. It is not that. The problem is what you're going to do about it. That's the problem. The problem is, have you designed or defined a method out? That is the only question, brothers. Again, I speak straight to you, man, not to nobody else, my brothers. The only question to be asked is whether or not we are going to plan our long and short-term futures based on the good graces of another man, or whether or not we are intending to be men. And what does man mean? It means you are responsible. Carry at least your own weight. And if you can carry a weight, carry 5 more. And if you can carry 5 more, carry 10 more. And if you can carry 10 more, let's carry millions to freedom. There's only one way, not many. All right? Peace, y'all. I love you. I love you. Peace. I hope I ain't hurt and leave no scars, man. You know, our words can leave scars, and I'm very myopically focused. And I will say that, you know, one of my dear brothers told me that I hurt him with my words, and I did. I recognize that. I recognize that in conversation, we were speaking about a thing, and I said, and I copped to it, man, I'm not perfect, and I'm gonna say that. I said to my brother, I said to him, fuck your feelings, right? Now, in the context that it was said, it was never received how I meant it. All my brother heard was fuck your feelings, real harsh. It felt real harsh to him. And then later on, when the energy was gone from the moment he and I had a conversation, and I was able to express to him that what I was saying was that the feelings had nothing to do with what we were discussing or going through. Like when you go to your job, ain't nobody, yeah, you're a whole human being, but your feelings ain't got nothing to do with it. It's about what you're able to do for this job, right? And I explained that to him later on, and he heard it and was like, oh, wow, now I get it. But at that point, he didn't. What he heard me say was, fuck your feelings. And that ain't what I never meant. And I ain't never meant to scar him. I ain't never trying to take pieces out of your armor. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build your armor. I'm trying to make it impregnable. I'm trying to make it so that can't nobody touch us. You understand what I'm saying? So there ain't no part of me trying to hurt you, trying to weaken you. I'm not trying to do that, right? And so again, I offer these words not in the name of knocking you, not in the name of singling you out. I include myself. I say we. I say we. I include myself in everything that I'm saying, and I don't intend to hurt or add scars to mine. I intend to make you resilient. And it may be that in order to make you resilient, the callus must be put on your hands and a callus must be put on your gut. It may be that some of the things that I say are not going to be able to be sweetened, right? But I try to be cognizant. I try to operate and speak in grace. And I try to be mindful of my words. So again, I love you. I don't intend to hurt you with what I'm saying. I intend to move the conversation to the place where we begin to solve the problem forever, and not just for us, not just for our lifetime, but for 1,000 lifetimes into the future. Our greatest family members and ancestors, they pushed the envelope forward. They grabbed a flag from the darkness and they pushed it forward in the darkness, right? And here we are. So what are we supposed to do? We're tasked with a given job. And that job is to push that flag from the darkness, through the darkness to the light. And so the only way that we're going to do that is through very clear definitions, through very clear truths, and being able to kind of define what are the action items. What are they? Remove dependency. The key words, the operative words here, dependency and responsibility. We are dependent for many different things, and we are responsible for doing them for ourselves. Joe Biden won't do it. Kamala Harris won't do it. No one will do this for us. We must do it for ourselves. It's not our women's fault. It's not our children's fault. It's not our parents' fault. It's the fault of this system that we were pushed into and born into. It's the fault of this abhorrent system, and no one recognizes it. So I don't have time to beg or try to change the moral barometer of another man. I'm not going to try to change the spots of a cheetah. I'm going to do what I need to do. We will do what we need to do for ourselves without any inquiry. All right? Peace. Again, much love for you.